or second last week at the Rickshaw. And Rampage is playing. This is Duane Nickel from Rampage on bass, on guitar.
Guitar tonight. I like to mix it up. Yeah.
Awesome.
So
Awesome.
cool, yeah.
So Duane, I've been dying to ask you, how old were you when you got into music?
Oh God, like probably no more than like 4 or 5.
Thought so.
Yeah, piano lessons,
I knew
right?
that was coming.
And then piano lessons first, and then I had this setback in grade 1 or 2. So I went into a rural little town south of Nanaimo called Cedar.
Awesome.
And they had tryouts for the choir. I was late. No, it was awesome for everybody who's in the room when the teacher said, you sing like this, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, you know. I walked in the room after that, and I kind of went to the end of the lineup, and she goes, okay, you first. And I was like, what? What do you want me to do? Right? And she goes, sing this. And I was like, D, ro, mi, fa, sol, next, gong. You have no musical talent. You can't be in the choir. You should never do anything musical with your life. Kill me now, please. In front of everybody. So
what was that?
It's a grade 2, man.
Where?
Oh, Cedar Cedar Elementary School.
Where's that located?
South of Nanaimo.
Okay.
They built a big highway through it to go to Duke Point.
No, this is why I ask the questions I ask. Nanaimo, the Surrey of Vancouver Island.
Well, Cedar is the Surrey of Nanaimo.
Oh, okay.
not that there was anything wrong with Surrey, but it's no.
Now, when did you pick up the guitar?
Not long after that. I was so pissed off about that I just wanted to fucking show her and everybody that was in the room that I could play and I could do something. I doubled down on piano. My mom bought me a bass and she got me a guitar from my Uncle Jim. So I started learning the bass. We went in, and when I got into grade 8, I guess, my mom went in and they actually talked the school music teacher into adding electric bass into the school orchestra,
awesome.
Which was like up until then hadn't been done. They didn't have electric instruments in it. It was all acoustic instruments. Yeah. So that was a pretty cool thing to be able to be like, set that trend for that.
Awesome.
Yeah, and Norman Porter, my teacher, he used to arrange all kinds of stuff, and we did like the Star Wars theme, and we had this great like thundering bass, and then eventually they added a full kit drum, and it sort of became a rock band. So that was the beginning of it all.
And I know you from Rampage, of course, in 22nd Century.
Yeah.
How old were you when you got into your first group?
That must have been probably 14, 15.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, 13. Yeah, so in Nanaimo, there's a guy called David Gogo, and we used to jam at his place out on Departure Bay Road. We were just kids at the time, and we sounded fucking horrible.
Oh, yeah.
But we turned up ramps as loud as they could, and they were blasting out over Departure Bay this like horribly out of tune, out of time music with screaming, grungy vocals that didn't make any sense. And then from there, I went to Victoria, and it was like a 6-month period. I just all of a sudden became really good at guitar, so I got into a bar band. So when I was in, I guess I was about 17, I was in high school. My parents, Mom, I'm admitting this here on camera for you right now. I would tell you I was going to bed at night, but I would sneak out of the basement and go and play in the bar when I was still not even allowed to drink in the bar.
Wow.
Yeah, so, and then I'd come home at like 3 in the morning, and of course, coming home at 3 in the morning, just kind of, crash, get up, go to school, kind of struggle through school, come home, sleep, and then get up at like, 8 o'clock, eat supper, go.
What was the name of that group?
It was Driven Force.
Driven Force, good name for a group.
Yeah, it was.
What was the defining moment where you decided, here is what I want to do with my life?
It's got to be probably one of the Saturday jams at Oldie's in Victoria. And I was sitting around there. It was like I was still in high school. I wasn't even old enough to be in the bar. And Kick-Axe was playing. And they asked, it was a jam session, and they came out in the afternoon. They're the last act because they were playing there, and they decided to jam, and they wanted to do some Judas Priest songs. And they asked, does anyone know it? And I said, well, I don't know. Hellion Electric High. It's 1982, right? So it's like, okay, so we did Hellion Electric High and Another Thing Coming. So I was up on stage with Kick-Axe, and it was like, that was the moment. I had to do it. And then, of course, the other defining moment was the first time I got laid because I played in a band. I mean, that was
awesome. Now, I like Kick-Axe. I'm a fan of theirs.
Yeah,
they're cool guys.
So they're recording a new CD.
And, for the record, Duane would like Rampage to play with another local band that he really enjoys.
Little Guitar Army.
Never heard of them. And Kick-Axe, all three of us.
Yeah, 3 of us on a bill. Yeah.
I'm honored. You were at the last gig LGA,
Yeah,
December 8th.
Yeah.
I was not well that night, but you cheered
Mello
me
was
on.
stressed.
She was? Oh, okay.
Well, I think this is the childcare thing, and I think this kind of running in and running out. And,
I like the Rothschilds.
Yeah, the Rothschilds had Mello.
Rothschilds. Yeah.
That was
well, I played
Mello
I played in the band with Mello and
Okay.
the Rothschilds. Remember, I was in the Rothschilds. Then.
Okay.
That's what I.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I threw it out
And then, of
there.
course, the Brain Eater thing too. Is
Yes.
I mean, that's the other iconic band that I just love playing with, and it's like,
I think we're all making history here, and the rickshaw is...
or we're living in history.
or the rickshaws are Odeon.
The rickshaws are Smiling Buddha, and it's like, I mean, it's all we got left now. It's the Waldorf's closed now. I mean, what else is left?
Buckler fighting to keep Waldorf open.
Yeah, I really enjoy the rickshaw though. It looks like a little concert venue.
It does, man. It feels like that too. It's just great to be up on stage.
It looks like our very own Hammersmith Odeon, but tiny, marquee.
Like somebody hit it with a hammer.
Yeah. Now, Driven Force. That was the first
Driven
group.
Force, yeah.
And then, of course, Rothschilds.
Well, no, there was a bunch of bands in the middle there, but Ace Coden was kind of the pivotal band that that I played in. So when I had Hair Like Yours, it's down to my ass, and we were like 5 skinny guys playing in the metal clubs and stuff like that. But we're playing our own shit, which was really hard to do in the '80s, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people.
Excuse us, sir.
I
We're
know.
doing an
Like you
interview.
should shoot the mooney. Looked around.
Oh, thank you.
I'll just pick it up from. So the Ace Coden was a band. We're 5 skinny guys, and we just came over to Vancouver. Decided to move over with probably $400 between the 5 of us. Rented a 1-bedroom apartment and started trying to play our own shit. And that was hard times to play. Like if you're a metal band, they wanted you to play Bon Jovi, AC/DC, all this stuff that was going on in Vancouver then, right? But to get up and play your own stuff, people were kind of like, play something we know. So what we used to do is we only had like 6 songs we did really well that were original. So we used to play them at the beginning of the set when nobody would kind of pay attention anyhow. And then at the end they'd be like, play something we know. We'd play the same 6 songs again. And because they'd heard it an hour before, they thought they knew the song and they just packed the dance floor. So kind of a little secret tidbit of Ace Coden's success back then. A little psychological experiment.
Well, you seem to be a fan of Michael Schenker.
Yes.
Who you like Thin Lizzy?
Yeah.
Who else has influenced Duane?
Brian May, I have to say. I've got to definitely go with Satriani and Yngwie Malmsteen a little bit. Paul Stanley, Steve Jones.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's kind of, I don't know, my Eddie Van Halen was huge. Like, I mean, there was a time when I could play every lick off every Van Halen album there was. It was just like we used to stay up at night, throwing forks at our guitars to try and get that just the right harmonic sound or something. And those kind of, so my style is kind of an eclectic mix of all of that. I don't know how you describe it. You've seen me play. It's kind of like,
I like your playing.
Yeah.
I just heard you
mutual
nod.
respect, yeah.
I heard
Mutual
the nods to the Sentinel during sound check.
Oh yeah. They were the intro of the Sentinel. That's a good one. See, you're one of the few people in there that knew that.
Oh yeah.
Fucking awesome, yeah.
Oh, because I play guitar.
Of course.
And I'm a musician.
And you're a metal god.
Metal god.
Metal god.
Oh yeah, I can
Bring
play
it
that.
on.
I'm a big Priest fan, maybe.
Same here. Yeah. I got to play darts with Dave Murray and Bruce Dickinson.
When?
Oh, Victoria. So girls' school, Iron Maiden, I think Motorhead came over.
Yeah.
We sat in my Plymouth GTX, and we were kind of, broke, and we're like, what are we going to do? Everyone else had left, and let's just go home. Let's try to have a beer somewhere. Let's try to get into a bar. And there's this little kind of motel with a pub across the street from the Victoria Arena. So we're waiting to pull out, and this tour bus just kind of all of a sudden leaves, goes like this, and it pulls into the hotel. And we're like, well, it's just whatever. And as we're parking, we look, and Iron Maiden's getting out with girls' school. So Kelly, I can't remember what her name was. Kelly Johnson, yeah. So Kelly and Dave and Bruce came down and started playing darts. And we were playing darts, and they were kind of like, we weren't going to go up to them and like, can you have your autograph, all that shit. So we were just like, playing darts. Next thing you know, it's just kind of like, hey, do you want a game?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck. You can go first even, You're Dave Murray. Holy shit. Like, he schooled all of us. Actually, Kelly schooled all of us too. I mean, fuck.
And what was Bruce like?
Uh-huh.
He didn't school you.
Oh, he schooled us Canadians, right? Like, so the UK dart playing is at a whole nother level, right? Like, you know, I guess that, you know, they put a dartboard up and it's like a magnet that attracts UK musicians, you know, and people from pubs, they just go and like throw pointy things at round bits. But for us, I mean, it was like probably the third or fourth time we'd ever played in our lives, so we're like, kind of, which way is the dartboard? Bang, you know? Just going with the flow, you know?
That's a cool story.
Yeah, life's full of those, you know?
It must be an honor to play with Zippy Pinhead.
It's always an honor.
And Randy.
And Tim and just everyone I've got to play with, and like Jim and Rain Eater and Mello too. And like I'm just you know what I'm loving now is like doing this for so long is like now is the time when you know you get those phone calls because the people who are still doing it remember and they go, oh yeah, he knows those songs because he played them 20 years ago or 10 years ago or 5 years ago or whatever it was, right? So you get the phone call. I mean, the Rain Eater gig I got home from San Francisco. It was on, I think it was a Wednesday night. I get off the airplane and get my cell phone. It's Suzanne Tabata, Bloody Bud and Bout. Anyhow, Suzanne says, like, you're playing Friday.